Hello everyone, this is Miss Chelsea, and today we will be talking about perfect squares and their roots. By the end of this video, you should be able to find the square root of a perfect square number. First things first, let's do a little bit of review. To square a number means to multiply that number by itself, or raise the number to the second power. Make sure to write that down. Now let's look at an example. You have a square with a side length of 5 feet. Calculate the area. First things first, the area of a square is equal to the side length squared. That means that the area of this square is 5 squared, or 5 times 5, which is 25. Now, how do we find the units? Well, since each side is 5 feet, that means the area is in feet squared, so 25 feet squared is our final answer. Now let's have a look at perfect squares. You see, 25 is an example of a perfect square, a number that can be expressed as a product of an integer by itself, or the second exponent of the integer. For this class, you will need to be able to find the first 25 perfect squares. Let's get started. 1 squared is 1 times 1, or 1. 2 squared is 2 times 2, or 4. 3 squared is 3 times 3, or 9. Keep going all the way to 10 squared, which is 10 times 10, or 100. Now, make sure you've got all this written down. Now we have another definition we need to know. The square root of a number is the value that, when multiplied by itself, gives you the number you started with. Let's look at an example. We are going to calculate the square root of 225, and this little symbol right here is the square root symbol. If you're not sure how to get started, let's try factoring the number first. Now, 225 is the product of 5 times 5 times 3 times 3. So the square root of 225 is the square root of 5 times 5 times 3 times 3, or the square root of 5 squared times the square root of 3 squared. Now, 5 squared is 25 and 3 squared is 9, so we get square root of 25 times square root of 9, or 5 times 3, which is 15. Now, in terms of a square, this number, the square root, would be the side length. Make sure you have all of this written down. Let's have a look at another example. What is the side length of a square with an area of 9? Well, we said that the side length of a square is the square root of the area, so we need to know what is the square root of 9. I just so happen to know that 3 times 3 is 9, so the square root of 9 will be 3. And as you can see, this box has 9 squares, and each side of the box is 3 squares. Now make sure you've got this written down because we are moving on. In order to figure out what is the relationship between square and square root, we're going to try another example. Let's calculate the square root of 7 squared. Now, 7 squared is 7 times 7, or 49. And what is the square root of 49? Well, it is 7. Now, notice how the square and the square root cancel each other out, leaving us with just 7? Well, this shows us that the square and square root are inverse operations. They are a pair of mathematical manipulations in which one operation undoes the action of the other. Now, make sure you've got all that written down because we are going forward. Now, let's figure out what happens when we have a negative root. So, let's look at example 5 and calculate -1 squared. Well, -1 squared means -1 times -1, which is just a positive 1. Now, notice how -1 squared is 1, but 1 squared is also 1. That means that the square root of 1 could be positive 1 or -1. Make sure you write this down. Just like square root of 1 has 2 possible roots, every real number other than 0 will also have 2 possible square roots, and these are going to be opposites. The positive square root is called the principal root. When we are asked for the square root of a number, we typically give the principal root. However, if we are asked for all roots, we need to give the principal root as well as its opposite. Once again, make sure you're caught up on the notes because we are moving forward. Finally, let's have a look at rational roots. To do this, we're going to look at an example. We are going to calculate 1/4 squared. Now, we can accomplish this using the quotient rule. Now, according to the quotient rule, this will be 1 squared over 4 squared, which is 1 times 1 over 4 times 4, or the fraction 1 over 16. This means that if we want to find the square root of 1 over 16, we can actually break it up into the square root of 1 over the square root of 16, which is just 1 over 4. Now keep in mind 1/4 is the principal root, and the other root would be negative 1 over 4. Notice how we can find the square root of a rational number by taking the square root of the numerator and denominator separately. This is true for all rational roots. Make sure you've got your notes filled out, because that is all for today, folks.